privileged ones sitting here as well. To name a few who have been there around us, Ratan Tata, Jamshedji Tata, example, Indira Gandhi, Jawaharlal Nehru, of course R.D. Burman, S.D. Burman, and what you see on your right is Chief Justice Sushrut and his father. All have been given the advantage of being privileged ones. But are they really the silver spoon holders, or in fact silver torch bearers? We will see in next few minutes. As a child, I was not a brilliant child. I was always an average child with a lot of activities going around, including sports. During summer holidays, he would ask me to be a compounder. So I would know what a compounder does outside the consulting chamber. In 10th and 11th summer holidays, I was his OT technician, operation theatre technician. And of course, after first days there, I was his assistant till I passed out my MS exam. Then, of course, I entered medicine. I had 5 gold medals in Sanskrit, and then I passed my MS Orthopedics. But when I passed out my masters in orthopedics in my medical school, because of my MBBS degree, at the same time I could shortcut exam of psychology. I also passed my MS psychology same time and diploma in business management of the university. So the day I was passed out as an MS orthopedic surgeon, I also had these 3 degrees in hand. And then I went to England. Bedford was the city where I first entered, and in that one year, 1992, I finished 4 articles in an established journal. I represented Bedford Hospital in British Orthopedic Association, won Best Paper Award, represented the hospital and country in International Congress in Seoul, Korea. But that was not it. The story now begins. So I was a young orthopedic surgeon coming from India, doing a lot of good work, and I hoped that hospital will kind of award me or reward me by giving a better job. I did not get a job. After that 1 year, that job was given to another competition of mine, neglecting me, thinking that anyways I would stay back. I was just married. I had nowhere to go. My dream was doing University of Liverpool MCH degree. I travelled to Liverpool. I tried to convince the professor there in Liverpool that, look, I have not been given a job in Bedford. I want to go back to my country ASAP. Either you give me job, I do my MCH in Liverpool and I go back to my country, or I go back to my country next week. 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, nothing was happening. Finally, I decided to quit the job in Bedford and join University of Liverpool as an intern, just observing the professor. And I left the job in Bedford. Those 7 days, I had no house, so I was sleeping in the car. I was using the washroom, which was the university hospital's washroom. At the end of 7th day, Professor Klinnerman had some soft corner. He gave me admission to MCH Liverpool course because he was the one who gave me the award of best paper during my Bedford Hospital participation. And I think that was one point which told me that tough times are never going to last. And I proved myself. I became the youngest orthopedic surgeon in the world to hold the MCH degree. And this record earlier was held by the person who actually established University of Liverpool, Sir Reginald Watson-Jones. So this was one major game changer that happened. message, you have to develop and identify that sense of purpose. Once in everyone's life, people who are sitting here, you identify and hit that sense of purpose. That might come to you today, that might come to you tomorrow, that usually does not come when we are students. That usually comes when we get hit by something which is on the way to establish your career path. I came back home. Of course, I was a good surgeon, already trained to do joint replacements. I established my first space theatre, which was meant for total joint replacements. I became very, very good surgeon, started getting, and people were pouring from all corners of the country. But I did not stop there. Advancement was one thing which I always wanted to look for. Video is somehow not playing. Anyways, so robotic surgery was one way which was brought in by me. Academic contribution, I started writing lots of articles. I wrote a lot of books. In fact, today for the master's course, textbook of orthopedics, which is followed by orthopedic surgeons all over the country, is written and edited by me, the one which you see on the right. So, country will not be a good place unless you create the ecosystem where you want to live. Always there will be an instance that you don't want to go there. But then you create an ecosystem that will suit you, suit your needs, and that's what you need to do. And again, when you want to succeed and you want to do something different, you have to have some out-of-box thinking. In addition to humans, of course, I had special affinity to animals, and I had lots of them around me anyways. So, let's talk about this tiger. This is Asia's biggest live male tiger today. What do you see in this photograph? See his left hand. Do you see? So he was young. He was around 6 months. There were 2 of them. And by poachers, they were attacked. One of them got caught in the iron claw that they keep for poaching. When forest people found him, the other tiger was already dead. He was already in acute renal failure without water for a couple of days. He was airlifted to Nagpur, the city where I live. I happened to meet him because all the forest people were my patients, and they suggested that we go and meet this tiger who was kept in a rescue center. And to my surprise and to everyone's surprise, that day, this tiger started communicating with me. No one knows the science behind this, but the tiger, who was otherwise a very, very aggressive kind of a creature, that day started showing his behavior. So this tiger was walking with a limp. His paw, as soon as it will touch the ground, he will wince. Because when the claw was crushed because of that trap, all the vessels, arteries, veins and nerves were crushed. And when the nerve gets crushed, it forms a swelling called as neuroma. And in some people, in some instances, that neuroma can be extremely painful. So Sahebrao, the name of the tiger, was walking with that painful limb, number one, because of shortening of the limb, because the toes were gone, and because of the painful neuroma that he had. So I started talking to people around. I started talking to my friends from Switzerland, talking to my friends from England, and we started assessing how and why it was happening. We took a couple of photographs. That's me trying to take the measurement. That's my hand against the normal Sahebraw's other side. That's tiger's claws, if you want to know. That's tiger bones. And see how that portion of the hand has been amputated. So we started taking measurements. We thought a lot. The entire world was thinking how to take care of this wild animal because he was in pain and he was not able to walk. So stage 2, we wanted to make him pain-free. So we operated on him, we excised the painful neuroma, we took off that floppy limb, and then finally we kind of operated on him, and that's how it became. That was the entire team, that was me being helped with by the England team from University of Leeds, and we are operating on this tiger. And finally, after a couple of weeks, he became pain-free, but he had a short limb. So he again cannot go in the wild. So we took measurements again. We tried to create the first of its kind prosthesis which will fit a tiger. Till now, such prosthesis was possible for cows and buffaloes and even elephants, but not for a tiger. So that's what we designed, which will fit him. And that was the first tiger prosthesis in the world. So after many surgeries, after many successful attempts making him pain-free, then we gave him this prosthesis. And it came all over the world. It became a big news. BBC covered it, all the top national and international newspapers covered it, and of course there was a huge team who supported me all the while. So I think animals are better off than a lot of humans because they at least respond to treatment and are grateful about it. The last phase, COVID times. Of course, in addition to giving haircut to my father, in COVID times, we doctors were busy. My hospital was the first hospital in central India to join the COVID war. But only treating patients of COVID was not enough. Of course, police joined, everyone joined in COVID times. We all have been through that. It was a difficult time. Nagpur, the city where I come from, is bank center of the country. So a lot of South India laborers were migrating through Nagpur and going to North India, where their original place was. So all these migrants who were transferring, who were migrating and going through Nagpur were helped by my team, and we migrated almost 22 lakh people who were from all parts of southern India migrating to Uttar Pradesh, Himachal and Northeast India. But I knew for sure that when I'm on stage, I'm very, very good at it. So I started educating my orthopedic surgeon colleagues. Surgery was anyway there. So education and imparting knowledge to your own fellow colleagues is one way of giving back to your alma mater, to your society, to your peer, through which you are. And then I got hit by a major illness in June 21. But then, of course, that hit did tell me that, okay, you have to bounce back. And so, the harder the struggle, the more glorious is the triumph. So what we decided, and what I decided, that now time has come for me to take India at a higher level, at a higher global or international level. And that's what then I started doing. I started training myself to be an international leader in our field, which is orthopedic surgery. And there are programs in orthopedics held by educational institutes to become international leader. I got myself trained to do that. And of course, physical meetings are great. These are physical conferences. TraumaCon is one of the biggest meetings that I hold every year in Mumbai. COVID times taught us how to bring at one level virtually. So we employed this idea during COVID times in TraumaCon, and we created something called as World TraumaCon, wherein we invited from 26 nations people who would come and talk to us about their experiences, their cases, their way of handling patients, their technology. You don't need to bring them physically. Now the world is flat, and so we had 26 countries, we had 210,000 orthopedic surgeons at the same time talking to each other, interacting with each other, educating each other, and thus India was put on map only a few weeks back, which was 2 weeks back. So, sky is not the limit. We have to think beyond. We have to extrapolate whatever we have gathered in our difficult times, and we have to use that. Most importantly, we must have that sense of purpose. Once you develop and get that sense of purpose, and that's it, you don't have to really look back. And finally, none can destroy iron, but its own rust can. Likewise, none can destroy a person, but his own mindset can. All those people who call you have a silver spoon, you are the privileged ones. In fact, my lecturer used to call that. My colleague always criticized me of having a silver spoon holder. But no, it's not silver spoon holder. It's, I think, silver torch bearer who are bringing all these knowledge, wisdom, education, academics and technology together. I think let's be silver torch bearers, all of us, and bring all this to our country, to our region, to our peers and to our colleagues. Thank you very much to all who have helped me to become what I am today. Thanks for listening patiently. And finally, thanks to people, my family, who always keep me grounded. Thank you very much.